Here we go again then. Just waiting for Ryan. He's late. He was supposed to be here 8 minutes ago, the prick. But yeah, for now, just me and Dave. And we're just talking about we're in a little group on Instagram. There's a few of us and we're all sort of prepping and feeding off each other's energy, you know?
Yeah, so we were sort of saying it massively helps the fact that we're all in there and we get the chance to kind of share and talk about preps and
Definitely. Especially, because it's your first one, it's I don't know, any sort of like motivation and any sort of like positive energy you can get, man. It's like it's really going to help because, as I say just a minute ago off camera, I was like, my first prep was easily the hardest one, and I think it's because you're not prepared for it, right? I know all the feelings now. Nothing's like a surprise to me anymore. Whereas,
saying that I've gone through
true,
kind of to a it's not like I've never dieted. It's like,
yeah.
so I kind of feel like I know that feeling. It just kind of just never finished one.
Sure, yeah. Well,
So
I was talking to Craig about this today, and we said if I were to put a percentage on it, like forgetting like the general public, I'm talking gym people, right? How many gym people could get like 8 week out condition? And we both came to the conclusion about 75% of people could get to that, like 8 week out where you've got really good abs and start to like be a little bit vascular.
yeah,
A good 75% of people could get to that point, right? But then from 8 weeks out to competition time, that is when the number dramatically drops, So I know you've done dieting before, but it's that final bit that is
that final bit. Yeah,
it's like, yeah, do you know what I mean? There's this big drop off from people.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
But I can feel a difference in you this time round.
I just can't wait. I'm like, unlike before, where I'm kind of like, oh, like, am I gonna look good? Whereas now I'm like, no, I'm gonna look good, and I can't wait. So it's different this year. I kind of feel like
You still haven't sent me your check-in photos. Sorry, mate. You still haven't sent me your photos.
I'll show you. I sent you some of my back shots, didn't I?
Show me now. Send it to me. Put you on the spot.
Well, the last time I took check-in shots was oh, fucking punchy dogs, mate. Fuck.
What's he done?
So there's just something in the fucking crate because one of the dogs is in the crate.
Yeah.
And then the other two are barking at her. Don't even like.
If it's not up to date, don't worry. Maybe just send the next one. Like, do you know what I mean? Because like how much you change week on week from it. There, you know what I mean?
Well, so this is like on a Sunday. So this is my front relaxed.
Well, your chest and your top line looks big.
Yeah. So like this is a side chest.
Yeah. I can see it.
This is like I went outside.
Hold it a bit closer.
So
your quads look ginormous, and your lat taper. Wow, fucking hell.
I need to start crunching down on that front of the bicep.
Right, yeah, because we said about torso length. Yeah. Do you do both?
I fucking cunt. I might have to cut this out. Mate, they fucking do my head in. You're gonna get kicked out. Shut the fuck up.
Dogs.
Mate, it's a fucking treat in the crate, right? It's a fucking treat in the crate. And I pulled it out, so they should shut the fuck up now. Here is a crunch, not crunch, but
yeah. So it makes you a little bit proportionate. You know what I mean? Like
I need that because I've got short legs. Hello, mate. You right?
Hello, mate. You right?
I've got short legs and long torso.
Right. Yeah.
So
doing that, it gives you like just your silhouette looks better because it just looks more.
But mate, this was Sunday. Since Sunday, I've changed so much already.
Really?
Yeah.
What was implemented? What changes were implemented?
Nothing.
Oh, really? Just letting it ride out.
But then again, I'm not eating a lot. I'm already on 200 grams of carbs and 50 minutes of cardio. So what can we change really? Yeah.
So break down exactly what you're eating and what cardio you're doing.
So I'm on my diet's exactly the same because I train 6 days a week. So my rest days, I only got one rest day. So I'm doing 200 grams of carbs, 350 protein, and 50 fat.
Mhm.
So that's 2,700 calories. I do 12,000 steps and 50 minutes on the stairs at the minute.
12,000 and 50 minutes. So fucking hell, that's like so 12,000. As I say, in miles, that must be it must be like an hour walk, right?
Probably just over.
So it's about an hour and 50 of cardio. Well, I know it's not cardio, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, steps is, but it's because, like, again, I always do quite a bit of cardio, so I have to start higher.
Yeah, I get you.
So,
And how about you, Ryan? What are you on at the moment? Calories, macros?
I'm on about, what was it? I think it's about 500 carb, 350 protein, something like that. And not sure, not sure bang on numbers, but I'm on about 5,000 calories.
Does that make you grow?
Yeah, what I'm growing on, I was growing on less. I think I'm on like 4,800 at the moment, and I'm growing on that. I'm having 5 meals a day and getting bigger and stronger, man. It's mad.
Well, you know, it's funny. Like when people talk about genetics, right? They always immediately think about like Samson Dowler and Andrew Jack. You know, like when we talk genetics, we look at people like that and think, oh, wow. But genetics is so much more than just the look, right?
There's a lot of
it's how you can diet, like so your mentality. It's all, like I think a lot of that is genetically determined because some people just like fucking lose their mind as soon as they're a bit more hungry. Also, the way that you can tolerate food and the way that you can tolerate drugs. You know, you can grow on like 4,500. But if I had 4,500, I'd be dropping about 5 kilo a week.
Yeah, I know. It's mad.
You know
He did say to me, Martin said, for my size, he's like, I'm surprised because out of everyone who's around my size and on his team, he's like, you're on the least food.
That's good though. That's good.
Yeah, I'm eating less. So
because you get to suffer more in prep, sure, but like
you get. I'll have to get lower.
Mate, I'm the same way. When it comes to dieting, I have to. I mean, I'm already eating like not a lot, but I can put on weight quite quickly, quite easily.
Oh, boy, you're both more similar. I'm the opposite. You know, hard for me to put on, but easy for me to come off. You know.
Mate, for me, I could have carried on. I got to 275. I could have carried on to 300 quite comfortably. It would have just taken time, and I would have got there.
Well, I'm around 270 now, and I'm not pushing the calories at all. So I'm having 5 meals a day. I feel comfortable, really. I'm like, well, I could go a lot more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuck
yeah.
So
something I want to bring up, Ryan. You said you're on 350 protein. Yeah. I'm on 350 protein. How much are you on, Ryan?
I think about the same. Yeah.
Right. So we're both on. We're all
364.
364. Okay.
Yeah.
So all of us are on a lot more than the science says, right? We're all eating a lot more than a gram of protein per pound. So what do we say to people that argue the fact that you only need a gram of protein per pound of body weight?
Right.
Yeah, I think you can absorb more especially when you're taking gear. And that's how I look at it. I think that's why Marty have always put the protein up quite high. I just think you can get more. I think you can get more out of it. That's why.
I think that the science is not really talking about fucking 250 plus pound bodybuilders. It's more
and that's it.
Yeah, it's talking about people who go to the gym, man. You know, people who just press a bit of weight and
they see a lot. Guys are like, yeah, gram of protein per pound, and I'm like, no way.
That's the absolute bare minimum.
That's bare minimum.
Yeah,
that's just to survive. That's just to maintain, maybe. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to get new tissue. You know what I mean? I'm trying to.
The other thing to think about as well is there's a couple of things. Number one, if you are trying to eat a surplus of food to gain muscle, you want to try and minimize body fat. And eating protein is a good way of fucking doing that because your body doesn't want to store protein as fat, right?
Yeah.
Also, it helps keep you satiated. So when you're eating it, it fills you up for longer. So that's another good thing as well. So
do you find like in prep sometimes, let's say you're on 350 protein and 300 carb, you then all of a sudden go 400 protein and 250 carb. Calories are the same, but you're in a bigger deficit because of the thermic effect.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your body's just simply by the fact that you're eating more protein, you're gonna have to burn. Your body will have to burn more calories to do to.
So work
metabolize
harder.
it.
Work harder to metabolize it, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And but it might feel a bit more dull eating it, but
Mm.
I don't know. Do you reckon you'd be more full? Like, so if you had 400 protein, 200 carb, or 300, which one do you feel like would
Yeah,
be?
because think like 100 grams of carbs is nothing.
I know that's what I'm. Yeah, but it's, you know, when you imagine if you ate all of your meals were just like steak and chicken with like veg.
I like carbs, man. I like carbs.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It would be so boring, and it'd almost it's not really worth it.
Yeah, but we're talking about last stages of prep here.
Yeah, we're starving, man. We want carbs.
Now, do you know what? At the end of prep, I don't know. Maybe you don't agree, but like when I get there, I actually almost like testing myself to see how fucking hard I can push myself, because I'm starving, hungry. Don't get me wrong, and my body keeps waking me up through the night. But I almost like get off on it, not sexually, but like
I think that's why you get in better shape than me, because I didn't get that feeling. I need to learn to be where you get. I need to get where you go, you know, like to push myself like that.
So you start feeling that, and then you leave.
Yeah, I didn't really cope with it very well. You know, I need to start getting myself to be more. I'm too relaxed about it. I need to be a bit like, no, come on, this is serious now. We need to take it more. I need to go to that place where you go. You know.
Yeah.
He says like he enjoys the fact that he can do shit that other people can't.
Yeah.
I said that 2 years ago, didn't I?
Really good mindset.
Yeah, all the time.
I said that today, probably like 2017, 18. It's true. Like, I get a satisfaction. You know, like you might go to like a family meal, yeah, and everyone's eating pudding. They're all eating dessert. They're all having fucking cheesecake, fucking ice cream, whatever, yeah. And you're sat there just with a black coffee, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I swear I like that feeling, because it makes me feel like I'm doing something that is hard to do, and it's like satisfaction.
Yeah,
Look,
no,
if you're not in prep, like, don't do that. But,
No.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're in prep, then
yeah. Of course. I mean, you got to enjoy food with people when you're not in prep, but yeah.
Yeah, like for me, she's dieting too, but she still gets an off-plan meal on a Saturday. And she's always like, "Oh, do you not feel weird me sat next to you eating whatever?" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I'm completely switched off at the minute. Like, I couldn't care less." Like,
yeah, I am. Go on, sorry, go on.
It depends on how bad you want it, doesn't it? It's just, are your goals important to you? Because that's what's going to determine whether you eat that food or not, isn't it? So
100%.
How much you want
and you know, when you cheat on your diet, you're almost like, yes, it feels good for that like 2 minutes. As soon as you're done, you're like, fuck. You're like, you feel worse.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I've done it.
I checked in this morning with Martin, and he said like he was really happy with it, and he's given me a Five Guys tonight.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want it. I actually messaged him and said, do I have to? Like, and the reason I'm saying that is because sometimes look, you get into a habit of not eating clean. And then when you have one thing, it sort of almost sets you off a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
That's what it does with me. It triggers me, man. Once I've had one bit, I want to keep eating, or I get the taste for it then. So every I think, oh, I want next night, I want something now, and I want something the next night. Yeah. You know, I get into like a bad spiral from doing it sometimes.
100%.
I'm so jealous of those guys that can do all week dieting, then go and have a burger and fries, and then go back on the diet the next day. I can't do that.
What you have to keep it clean?
I can't actually. Well, look, I prefer not to have cheat meals. It's easier if I don't cheat on my diet, because then I don't have to. I can't have it. Whereas if I do, it just makes it so much harder to get back on the diet.
I can do it. I just would rather not. And I said to Martin, do we have to? And he was like, yeah, I want to see what you look like after it. And I was like, okay, right. Because when he loads me up for a show, he's what he's going to use, you know? So
yeah.
I've actually got to have one. And I was like, because at the moment, prep is so easy. I kind of don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah, but next week, he'll drop you right in.
I know.
Because that's what he does, doesn't he? He's like, you're like 5 weeks out, you're still eating so much, and you're like 4 weeks out, like boom, half the food. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's done that to me before. But again, I like it. I don't like eating food that much. I quite like lower food. So yeah. I think I'm a skinny boy trapped in my body. Honestly, I'm not a big eater, right? I'm not.
No, I agree. I'm a bit like that sometimes. I mean, I do find the off season gets to me when it's the food does start going up. I could quite easily not eat. You know, I was always skinny and small, And I still got a bit of that in me, like you. I still feel like, oh, rather I could go with not eating. Do you know what I mean? But you got to push it, man. I'm pushing it now, and I'm not even on that many calories. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I've got to eat that. You know?
Yeah, I bet like happily you'll just have like a packet of crisps and a fucking can of Coke.
I could easily eat something small and chill, man, and just not eat. But
Yeah.
I got to force it a bit, you know. But all worth it if you keep doing it. In it, I suppose it's all worth it. So that's what I'm doing.
Exactly that, mate.
Pushing it.
What shows have you planned on doing?
What, me or Ryan?
Yeah, but well, no, we know Ryan, you.
Yeah. He wants me. I'm going to do the FitX Bristol.
Yes.
Because it's in.
What date? Sorry, bro. What date?
It's the 29th of July.
Cool.
Because it's in Bristol and Karina's doing it as well. Obviously, it'd be nice for us to both do a show together. And he wants to see what he can test on me before we went for the bigger sort of two bro show. He wants to see how I respond to stuff because he's never done work with me before. So I suppose it gives him a bit of an insight on how things to sort of bring me in, if you know what I mean.
Right, I'll tell you what, man. Sorry, I'll let you finish. Sorry, but it's like
No.
It's really exciting to see what you can do because I feel like you better got out of first gear.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I don't know if you lads seen it today. Do you know Guy? Do you know Guy?
Harding, yeah.
Yeah, have you seen his story today? He tagged me in his story. Someone asked him a question saying, who do you think is going to be up and coming, or who do you think is going to be a good bodybuilder this year? And he tagged me in it. He tagged me and Dean White in it. And he said, now I'm working with Martin. If I get it dialed in, he said he reckons I'll be hard to beat. And that is like a nice little thing he said about me on there.
You said it yourself. You said it yourself last week on the podcast. Like you never took it that seriously. Not with a coach. You kind of like wing it a little bit and still come in like where all of us look at this and think, what the fuck, you know? So especially if you come in full on properly, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's why I decided to start paying for a coach to take it serious because I'm not going to pay him and not listen, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to really try now.
How far out of your best would you say you ever got to?
I reckon I've gone in about 80%, I reckon. Knowing what I've eaten on prep and knowing what I've really done. If I'm honest, I know what I've done, then yeah, I've been cheating all along. Like probably twice a week, eating what I want, 2 days a week. Yeah. So I know if I stopped it, then yeah, I'd probably be a lot better, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna take some beating this year if you fucking put it all together, mate.
Well, I put a lot of size on as well, so I'm hoping that shows.
You reckon? Because obviously we haven't seen recent pictures or you know. How much size would you say you've put on?
Well, the biggest I ever got to was about 19 stone, and I'm sitting at just under 20 stone now. I know it's only a stone different, but my body composition is around the same. So I definitely saw
from 19 to 20. That's a lot of weight.
And how long have you been off season as well?
I've been off season since I think August.
Oh, so quite a while.
Yeah.
So I've been doing pretty well. So,
do you prefer longer or shorter off seasons?
I prefer them shorter, man. I find when I keep pushing, that's why I've been having my off season cut short because we were supposed to keep pushing for another 4 months from now, and then do shows around them September, October. But because I'm getting really uncomfortable and I'm at a weight now, which I'm struggling with, and I'm struggling with the food a bit, he's cut it down to 2 months more pushing because I couldn't take another 4 months of it.
Do you think it makes it harder to get in shape the longer you go?
Yeah, I find the longer I like to stay sort of in that mode, you know. I like a few months of growing and back to it. I don't like going like say people have 2 years off and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, man, not me.
Yeah,
I like to get back into it.
Yeah, I think if you've not been in shape for like 2 years, it's going to take you like longer for sure. Do you know what I mean?
I like to keep it fresh, you know. Like I remember how I felt not long ago. I remember what I was doing and sort of in that mood.
I'm not going to pretend that I know the science behind this specifically, but like fat that is only just gone on your body is more superficial, and I feel like it can come off quicker.
Yeah, of course. I agree.
I'm not going to claim to know the science behind that, but it just seems to be that way.
No, I mean, it may not be backed by science, but it is.
Yes.
Certainly how it feels.
Yes. Yeah. It's almost like it becomes more stubborn the longer it's on.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree with that.
Sorry, and then so after FitX Bristol, you've got two bros. So what the two bros ones?
We're gonna do a qualifier. I can't remember what one it was. He told me what qualifier it is. It's I can't remember the name of it, but it's a good one. He said it's going to be the one. I think it's a week or two before the Amateur Olympia. So he said that's going to be a busy one. It'd be the last qualifier, I think.
Yeah.
So he said it'd be busy. He said I'm going to put you in a good busy show, basically.
Nice, mate. Nice.
And then after that, it's going to be the Amateur O. So it's going to be hard.
What weight class are you looking at? Sorry, no, go on.
Where is the Amateur?
I'm not sure. Again, I think it's in the
Spain,
UK.
Yes.
No,
Oh,
because they're doing it in the they're doing it in England. For the.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Say, Chad, sorry.
What weight class are you looking at? Like, are you looking at supers?
Yeah, I couldn't get down to heavyweight, mate. No way.
No. What was your last stage weight?
106.
No.
106 was your last stage weight. But if you were full condition, you probably could have been about 100.
I reckon
102.
Yeah, 102. Yeah.
So yeah.
Now you've got a bit more size as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, if I could sit around, I'd say 106, but in condition, then yeah, man, that'd be a mad look.
And the thing is for you, if you like what we talked about in the last one, but I'll say it again, it's like one of your strengths is like your muscle bellies. They're so full and round. And if you diet down too hard, you could end up losing that sort of, you know.
Yeah. He said he's going to make sure he watches that. He said, I'm going to make sure I don't lose your qualities trying to chase condition too far. So I want to make sure I can still find a way to fill back out regardless. Because I know you've got to run flat to get that real condition, right? I know that. But then I want to be able to come back from it, not be stuck all week out and I'm trying to smash loads of food. I want to be able to, you know, still look full and range. Because that's my strength. So that's what's going to get me, you know, to where I want to be.
Yeah, you got to play with the hand that you got, man. That is yours all over, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I want to be bursting full, you know. I don't want that real fullness to my muscles because that's something that not a lot of people have got. So I want to match that with really top condition, you know. That'd be ideal, but obviously, like I said, easier said than done. But that'd be the ideal goal I'm looking for. Yeah. Condition.
You know, Adam, he's coached by Martin as well. Adam, he's got big arms.
Has he got a black beard? Adam, I think I know you.
What I'm talking about?
Yeah, Adam Edwards.
Oh, Adam Edwards.
Yes.
Adam Edwards, yeah.
He's got similar type physique, like
he's like bubbly.
Got that fullness.
Yeah. He's like strong like you as well. Like, you both like good presses and stuff like that. So you got like that. Yeah. He's another one. Do you know what his problem is? Adam's problem is he never gives himself long enough.
No, he only does like 8-week preps and that, doesn't he?
Yeah. But he's like been off cycle. You know, even went boxing once upon a time, didn't he? And then
he did,
And then he just goes, I'm going to do a show in 6 weeks, and you're like, what? Do you know what I mean?
He changes really quickly as well, doesn't he?
He does go hard for 6 weeks, though, doesn't he? Yeah.
There's no doubt about it, but he still lacks that polish. And if he'd give himself like 10 to 12 weeks, he'd nail it.
Yeah, I reckon so. He's kind of like me in that manner. I don't reckon he's ever got his real condition, to be honest.
And again,
people prep can be too long. People overdo preps where you don't need 20 weeks to prep. Like, I don't care how much body fat you got to drop. Surely, right? 20, unless you're like a first timer.
Hold on a minute. You're right. I think I actually agree with the statement. I feel like you shouldn't because it starts to ruin the look, right? But to talk about him again, Louis, Ryan, you might not know him. Do you know the Rhino on Instagram? Louis Rhino.
No.
Okay, he was my client for a long time. He's a really good guy. He's now Dave's coach. He's just a really slow responder, and I coached him for 5 years. He just takes so long to change.
Bro, I reckon though, if you hammer him in with cardio and push his food all the way down, he'll come in.
No, I did that, and his body stops responding. You
really?
Asked it yourself, yeah.
So when you say that, what do you mean? Because I can't relate to that. I could my diet right starts like that: cardio high, food low, but I'm pretty much on the same food the entire diet. My food probably won't drop much. I reckon in a couple of weeks we'll probably drop from 27 to 24, maybe from 24 to 21, and I'll be done. I'll be ready.
Well, over the years, I did 3 preps with Lou, 3 off season, 3 preps. So we tried a lot of different methods. It wasn't just like one thing and then that's it. So we tried going ultra fast. Okay. Like, so we went low food, high output, whatever. And he got to a certain point and then he just wasn't changing. And I did a side by side from like 6 weeks ago to now. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was scratching my head. I couldn't believe it. So what I did is I reduced his output. So I took his cardio down in half and I started adding in extra carb meals, 1 rice meal extra per day.
Right.
And he started dropping.
Yeah. Do you know what though? Do you know why I pulled prep last year? Right. At the end of my prep, I went on with Martin. I was going to do 1 or 2 shows of him at the end, and I started gaining weight on. I think it was on 2,200 calories. And I started to gain weight. My body wasn't responding. I was gaining weight. I was looking worse, and there you go. So when he started putting more food back in,
why does that happen then? Why does that happen?
Stress.
I don't know. Yeah,
I'm convinced it's stress.
Responding.
Yeah, because like the old adage is eat less, move more, right? That's what people say. If you eat less, move more, you're gonna like. But I'm telling you now, I've got first-hand experience of it's not black and white like that. It's not. Some people get stressed. I've got a client now who's similar genetics to Louis. And if I push him too hard.
Yeah, you got to manage fatigue as well, haven't you?
Yes.
Well, you don't think that people just cheat on their diet?
I mean, I trust.
I was genuinely gaining weight on that low food and I was sticking to it at that point, because I really wanted to try and do well with Martin. I thought, I'm going to pay him for it now.
Do you not think had you waited and saw it through for another 2 weeks, your body would have just like dropped?
Well, he said,
you're in a deficit, right? You're in a deficit. So your body has no choice but to drop body fat. I don't know. Do you not think?
Yeah, scientifically, yes. But that doesn't mean that the look is going to be what you want, right? So
I started to look worse. He said the checking photos, he was like, he said, your body's not responding. I was looking more watery. I was looking not good. I didn't feel good.
But when you get to that point and you flatten out, you're going to look worse. You could just be super flat.
Yeah, well, Martin made the decision with me. I mean, he looked and said, I just think it's better just to pull it. He said, you should not be gaining weight on this amount of this low food. And, he said, I reckon I went too far. My body wasn't responding. And my calories were too low at the start of prep, basically. He said, I had to go too low. I mean, I was on 1,800 at one point. And for my size, it was just wrong, man. I wasn't responding. He said, it's too low.
Yeah. Chad, in as I say, scientifically, you're right. In a deficit, your body has no choice; it has to, right? But bodybuilding is more than just that, and it's about it's as I say, fatigue management and stress, and for sure. I remember one time Dan McNabb said to me, 2018, he said to me, Dean White is doing an hour and a half of cardio a day, and if someone of that level is doing that, then you need to be thinking about like doing more. So I started doing an hour and a half of cardio a day. I promise you, I started going backwards. Stop it. I started going backwards.
I don't think more cardio is always better as well.
No.
It depends on the person. Sometimes I've seen it ruin people's legs as well. I've seen people's legs disappear, man, from doing too much cardio.
I think at the start, I think it's nice to start off high.
Yeah.
I respond well to start off high to just get that first initial layer of body fat off. And then at that point, taper off.
So start your cardio up here, and then as you get leaner, you can reduce your output.
Well, my cardio, let's say my cardio goes up to an hour on the stairs, right? And I start to then be fatigued and look worse. I can go on an incline walk, which is a lot less impact, but still the same time.
Do you not think, though, if you, let's say you go high cardio, low food, and you run that for like 6 weeks, your body starts to adapt to that. And then any small change where, like, let's say you bring your output down, stop it. You bring your output down and food up, then all of a sudden you'll start gaining.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. Your body's used to it, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes. Well, what do you think?
Because again, I haven't got to that point where I can test it. Again, it's probably different for different people.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon. It's person based.
I respond to cardio.
Yeah.
In an off season, you put 20 minutes of cardio, I tighten straight up.
Yeah, I think everyone's different. I think that's why this is such a good sport, because there's no right and wrong way. I don't believe. I reckon I've seen people do stupid things, you'd think, but then it's worked for them. They're coming in, they're looking good. It's like, There you go.
When people do these extreme things, they're almost like inconsistent with them, though. So when someone's like, "Oh, I'm on an hour and a half of cardio," yeah, for 4 days, or they'll do it for like a couple of days, and then they'll make out like the entire prep was that long.
Yeah, to really see the effect of something, you got to do it for a longer period of time.
Yeah,
to really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. People talk in absolutes, don't they? They're like, "Oh, I did that and it didn't work." Whereas, hold on a minute, you don't know. Maybe you didn't do it for long enough, or maybe there was other variables that coming into it.
Yeah,
well, you know
I agree. Yeah.
But,
I think if you hammer yourself with cardio and low food, you will get lean. Yeah, you might lose a little bit of muscle, but I think on a first prep, you can't go wrong with that. Because for me, like I said, my goal is to go on stage and be like, "Fuck me, he's lean." Not, "Oh, but he's full." Like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I agree. When you learn about it, you get into it a bit more. You can then work out what you think is best for your physique for prep. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Like,
you guys
want to
are
hammer.
going for pro qualifiers, so it's an entirely different game. You have
Yeah,
to
I'm trying to go for a
size,
certain look.
leanness, fullness.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
when you were a first timer or kind of
Oh, I didn't care. I got small and just ripped, and I managed to beat 20 guys. You know, so it
But you
works.
see that though, normally on PCA and a lot of these kind of first timer categories, as long as you're in shape, you're going to win.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you're saying.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, do you know what, mate? Maybe I'm too trusting of people, but like, if you hammer cardio and go low food, I don't know. I've come across people that don't get there, and maybe they're just lying to me.
I think most people cheat on their diet.
Maybe.
I think most people cheat on their diet because I know myself. When I go, "Oh yeah, I'm on very low food, 2,200 calories or like whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm adding extra veg. I'm adding extra sauce. I'm adding, you start adding extra bits." And then you're like, "Oh, so you're on 2,200 calories, but you're forgetting about that cheat meal you had on Wednesday."
Yeah. I think people don't realize how much. So one of my clients actually, I halved his veg. So I said,
"Oh, you told me about that."
Yeah, I told him. Yeah, and he lost 3 pounds. He lost 3 pounds.
Yeah. Probably of shit.
So right, he was he put on his story, and it was like just like sirloin steak, and then the veg. Fuck me, the whole plate was just like. So I said to him, I was like, "Mate, can we just halve it? Like, if we can go for like 150 grams."
Yeah.
And he said, "I've just done 150, and honestly, that looks like less than half." And I was like, "Fuck." Geezer was having like 400 grams of veg.
Yeah.
I tell.
5 days later, 3 pounds down.
I tell clients, look, have veg, but when you tell people have veg, most people hate veg, so you almost have to force them. But then there are people that think like, "Oh, I can eat as much as I want." And they'll eat like a kilo of fucking broccoli, and you're like, "Bro, it's like, you know."
Yeah, there's calories in it still. Do you ever come across people that say they assume because the food is healthy that it doesn't count? Like they go, like for example, they'll go, "Oh, I've been snacking on fruit, but it's fruit. Fruit, but fruit's healthy, isn't it? Fruit's healthy." You know what I mean?
I
like,
get that all the time.
Yeah, fuck's sake. This guy said to me he was ill. He goes, "I was feeling a bit under weather, so I just went and smashed a bag of oranges." He goes, because it's got vitamin C in it, and I was like,
Vitamin C.
He honestly, he reckons he smashed like 8 oranges because he was feeling under the weather. I was like, that's fucking weird.
When it comes to the fat burners side of things, what is the highest amount of Clem, T3, T4, all of that stuff that you've both taken?
I think I took 120 micrograms of Clem. And T3, I've only ever used 2 tablets, which were 25 micrograms, I think. So it'd be 50 micrograms.
So do you find you flatten out on T3?
I never flattens out.
People say that.
It's hard for me. I think I look flat, but everyone else who is like, "No, mate, you're not flat." So yeah.
Do you know, I think that's bullshit? Like when people go, "Oh, I can't use this much T3 because look, like 25, fair enough, 37 and a half. Like if you start going past 50, that's probably potentially a little bit overkill."
I think when you're doing 3 to 4 tablets, like I know some people have, I think you're going a bit hard on it. Then it's like what's that? About like 100 micrograms. I think it's too much, man.
100 is 100 definitely, but I think like we're taking 2 grams of gear on a prep cycle. Like, come on, you are not gonna lose muscle
Yeah, I think people overestimate, like, you know, they'll go, oh, I added this in and it did this. I'm like, you know, when you've got about 5 or 6 different compounds, do you know
You
what
can't tell what one thing did, man.
Exactly that, mate. Exactly that. Like, I'm using so much shit, I don't know what the fuck's doing what anymore.
Yeah,
that's what happens. Yeah, it does get like that.
But people convinced, they're like, oh no, I put this in and it made me really full.
Yeah, it's like you can't tell that, man.
Mate. No.
Brian, what's the most amount of Clen you've taken?
Clen, what right now? I'm on 160.
Really? How's your heart rate, sleep, and all that? Or did you just taper up?
Yeah, heart rate's gone up. So my resting heart rate was like 56 before.
It's good.
Now it's about 70.
Right. Oh, that's all right.
Yeah. And T3, I'm on 37.5, so I put a tablet and a half. Yeah. And
T4 as well.
Again?
Do you take
T4? Oh yeah, I'm on 100 T4 as well.
That's the same as me then.
Yeah, but exactly.
I'm only on 40 mcgs of cleanse still, but I don't need it yet. No.
I found I was on my phone the other day and it was like shake it.
I find Clen hurts me. Clen hurts me. When I start going past.
Do you get like in your fingers? So if I take a deep breath in, I get like almost like I can feel like a rush of blood to my fingertips. Do you actually know what I'm on about? Have you heard that?
I don't know if I've had that, but I've had because I get quite bad anxiety. Like I said, when I take Clen, my heart rate goes up. It makes my anxiety attacks twice as bad if I get one, or my resting heart rate's already fast, and I hate the feeling of it.
Do you mind me asking, when you have an anxiety attack, do you mean like it's physical, or is it just like
physical?
What actually happens?
Yeah, like sweating, heart rate really fast. Feel like I'm gonna, can't breathe.
So I bet stuff like your hymnline is like out the window for you.
Yeah, I can't use stuff like that. Or I have to start really low and I have to add it in really little bits for a bit.
How are you with stimulant stuff? Maybe like ephedrine?
I don't hardly. I'm not very good with that either. I get quite. It depends. I can use them. It depends on how I'm feeling in myself. If I feel pretty happy and things are good, I can get away with doing it. But if I'm going for a bit of a bad patch, I'll leave caffeine alone. You know what I mean? If I'm having them at the time, I will leave it alone because it just makes it worse.
Well, at the minute, I do no pre-workout. I do no pre-workout. I do a Monster. I love a Monster because I always have a Monster anyway. One coffee, a Monster. That's it. Yeah. I'm leaving caffeine like until later on.
Do you actually feel anything from caffeine?
Right, if you're taking 400 mg of caffeine, you're gonna know you're on fucking pre-workout.
Yeah, but do you get the benefits of it, or do you start feeling scatty?
I feel scatty. That's what I don't like. I get anxiety. I get worse. It makes me on edge. Like I feel like I'm out in a rave somewhere. You know what I mean?
So that's it, right? So I'll have a coffee and I feel nothing. Then I think to myself, well, I'll have another one. About an hour later, nothing. Then I'll have a Monster. So that's 3. Then all of a sudden, boom, and I'm like I feel on edge. I feel on edge.
Oh no, I don't like that feeling.
No,
I think when you start to feel like the fatigue of being tired in prep, that's when it will help.
Yeah, that's what I said. When I'm low, and that's when I can push things up a bit. And where I'm so drained and tired, I'm out of it. But when I'm already feeling good and I put it in, I can feel the effects. It makes me worse. Do you know what I mean? When you're really tired and drained on prep, it's all right. You can sort of get away with it.
Yeah. I think one of the problems is that I'm expecting to feel like I've taken an ecstasy or something, but actually all it is, it's more like cognitive ability, like your ability to focus on things.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I believe it's really good caffeine for there's a really good purpose for having caffeine anyway. I think it's good. I just don't like too much of it. Do you know what I mean? Basically,
you don't want too much because it can constrict the blood vessels. So at that point, that's counterproductive.
That's probably what you get in your hands, right?
Yeah, but that's from Clen. I don't know what I don't know what it is. I can't. It's weird because I've just said it to a few people and no one else has had it. I don't know.
Is that carpal? Could it be carpal tunnel from the growth?
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, it only happens when I take Clen. Yeah, and it might be hypertension. Maybe
as well. I don't know.
If I'm not, I don't want to say something if I'm wrong, right? But what's hypertension? To do with blood pressure.
It's high blood pressure. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's just high blood. No, I don't think
you're going to have high blood pressure.
No. I've tested it.
Okay.
But I remember on last prep, I was Googling at 4 a.m, when you woke up and can't sleep. And I was Googling stuff and it came up with a few things. And I was like, I don't know. But it's not bad. It's just, strange.
Is it not like gout where you feel like you've got glass in your fingers?
No.
Okay.
No. It's almost like pressure. You know, like if you did this to your finger.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh,
Yeah.
To get blood in the end of your finger. Yeah. It feels, if I take a deep breath in, it feels like all the blood goes to my fingertips.
like pins and needles.
Sort of.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's odd.
Weird.
I've never felt that. It could just, mate, it could just be a weird side effect that you get, you know?
Yeah.
But Clen, once I start going past 100, that's when it starts to really hurt me.
Don't you get a lot of people asking about Clen? Like you know, even if they're not dieting, but they'll take Clen, won't they? Do you get people asking this?
Yeah.
Mate.
They assume that it doesn't matter what you're eating, but if you're taking Clen, you're going to be all right.
Yeah, I get friends. They're like, oh yeah, I start taking Clen, and then they're eating whatever they want, do what they want, and I just think, oh, straight on clue, man. But there's leaving to it, man. It's just like, you know, people are in their own little world, aren't they? Sometimes.
Do you find Clen makes you stronger?
What's that?
No, does Clen make you stronger?
Possibly if you had a boost, if you felt really up, you know, like, you know, it makes you feel that energy drive, doesn't it? I suppose you could make you a bit stronger.
I think sometimes it's
maybe you think you're stronger from it, you know.
Yeah. I think sometimes, you know, like when you're taking everything, it just psychologically you feel different because you're on cycle, you're taking all these orals, you're taking everything, and it makes you feel a certain way. So then you go and have a really good session because you're feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
Like placebo effect, you know?
I think placebo effect is a massive thing in life anyway.
Yes.
Your mind, if you believe it, man, I think that's it, you know?
Oh, 100%. It's been proven to work time and time again, you know, like when they do scientific tests, they do like a blind and double blind, and they give people like placebo and what, yeah. So.
Yeah.
You know what we did add actually, because you asked me what we changed. We added 50 mg of oxys onto the cycle.
And when was that? Have you had time to notice anything?
Yesterday.
Okay, right.
Oh, the pumps are just already like way better.
What's the half-life on oxy?
Like 8 hours.
It's quick, isn't it? It's like in and out straight away. Yeah. Do you just have it pre-workout?
I just taken it. Well, yeah, essentially, because I just take it first thing about 8-ish, and I train about 10. So yeah.
Yeah.
And is that daily or just training days?
Daily. Just because I only have like one. Well, I only have one rest day, don't I? But again, because we've only added it sort of yesterday. So
how many days a week do you train, right?
5, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I sometimes do active rest days because I just want to do something. I go in there, I might just do some calves, some forearms, bit of glute, and I'll class it as a rest day.
Yeah.
I didn't rest.
Think of it, I say 6, right? But I have an arm day, which that's hardly taxing. It's just curls and leg and tricep extensions. And on my shoulder day, I don't press. So it's just raises, just lateral raises, the front raises, and rear delt flies and shit.
Yeah.
So really, it's 4 hard workouts and 2 active rest workouts.
Yeah.
It's more just to keep you in. I took that from Martin actually. It's just to keep you in the gym for expenditure and just to, you know.
My brain can't do that. My brain can't go in and accept that it's like a meh.
Well, what? So when you go and train arms, what are you like psyching yourself up?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, come on. No. Like jokes aside, actually, I try my best to treat it the same as everything else. I try to, because I think to myself, well, I don't want to like my arms need to come up, so it's something I really want to focus on. Do
you find you need to train arms that like heavy, or you know, even if you do volume, that's still. I think what's taxing is the weight that you're lifting. It's not so much the volume.
Yeah, I feel I'm more taxed when it's the from the weight of things, not the volume.
Yeah, I agree on that as well. Yeah, definitely.
So if you're doing sets of 20 on biceps or triceps, it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's not like.
Yeah, I'll get that. Well, that's what I mean. I try and treat it like the other body parts, and the other body parts I'll load up. So I'll load up my arms.
Yeah. Oh, I never load up my arms. No, arms to me is literally just blood.
Yeah, me. I don't do heavy arms.
Well, you've both got better arms than me, so maybe I should listen.
Shoulders.
I need to bring my arms up. I do need to bring my arms up, but I just don't do too heavy. I don't know. I just don't think they respond that well to really heavy weight.
When I say heavy,
I mean I can't press.
I just mean relative. I don't mean like fucking crazy.
Oh.
I mean, you know, like
Right. So what? Okay. So what dumbbells are you doing for say?
at the moment, I'm doing single arm like on a preacher
Yeah.
dumbbell, and the bench is at like about 75
45.
degrees.
Yeah.
How heavy dumbbell?
And I'm doing a 32 kilo dumbbell for like 10 reps.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
I was
I
doing a 10 kilo dumbbell.
Yeah, I only go to about I do 15 to 20, maybe 15, 17.5 kg on stuff like that.
Even on hammer curls, I don't go past 20 kilo.
Yeah, I don't go heavy on arms. Yeah, I just don't, man.
The bicep is a tiny muscle. Like what? Why do you need to? Plus, when you're rowing and doing back work, you activate it that way.
Well, I think what it is that for me to actually enjoy the session and try and like
You want to push a bit.
Yeah, I need to load a little bit, you know, just a little bit.
Do you not get bicep tendonitis though when you do that?
No,
mate.
I feel like my forearm takes over a lot of my bicep workout if I go any sort of heavy-ish.
I get
I
that.
feel like my forearm gets a massive pump.
I try and let the dumbbell fall into my fingers.
I get you.
I try, yeah, and I get like
I
a different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels different. I get tendonitis when I like heavy barbell squat, but I don't.
Right.
I know. Get in position. You know what I mean?
That's because you're holding onto the bar.
Yeah. But I know I never get it from arms. Not at
So
all.
for arms, how many sets do you do?
1, 2, 3, 4. 6 by 6 try.
6 sets.
6 sets of by, 6 sets of try.
Oh.
I do quite a lot of on arms.
I do like 30.
I do like maybe 4 exercises on biceps, 4 exercises on triceps.
5 sets each.
And it's like 4 sets of on each probably, you know.
Well,
and I just pair up weight.
Well, no, so maybe this is where I'm going wrong then, because I say you both got better arms.
No, it's not wrong because your arms are growing and your arms are big.
Yeah.
So it's not wrong.
Right.
I'm just trying to bring my arms up, so I'm just trying this now.
Yeah.
I've done like all different kinds of workouts for my arms, but there's some I do need to bring up, so I'm just trying to do whatever I can. I just think volume, they react better to volume. I find lots of blood like squeezing into the muscle, you know.
Yeah,
a bit of a bro science kind of explanation, but that's kind of how I present it to clients. I'm like, look, you're using your arms all the time, picking up shit, like, you know, so you need volume.
Yeah.
If it's a muscle that's used to being used a lot, it needs.
Yeah.
Like,
that's how I see it. Like 6 sets, that ain't gonna cut it.
Hold on a minute.
Bringing up, so I'm trying this approach anyway. I'm trying to work this out, you know.
I do 6 to 8. I've just remembered, and I'm not just saying it because you said that, but I do either 3 or 4.
So you're talking 2 work sets per.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I'll typically drop set the second set of each.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
You're getting a bit of volume out of that, aren't you, as well?
Yeah.
But say like on a preacher, let's say my last set is say 50 kilos, right? I might go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that's 5 sets, all 20 reps.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
See what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. So hold on a minute. So it's only one heavy. The rest of them are just leading you there.
No, because there's still 20 rep sets.
But hold on a minute. Actually, our volume might be quite similar. It's just you call it something different, a bit like we've talked about before.
How many warm-ups do you do?
Call things different as well.
Yeah, warm up. So going up to the 32 dumbbells, I'll do like 10, 15.
So 10
20,
for how many? 10 for how many?
10 for 15.
Okay.
15 for 10, 20 for 10, 25 for 5.
And fucking sets, bro. That's sets.
Okay, well there you go. That's what.
Oh, so I did.
So we do the same then.
Yeah. Okay. No, look, every set counts. For me, I count everything as a set. I call everything a set.
I don't, man. I to me, it's just priming myself. I'm just getting myself there.
Yeah.
Then I go.
Because if you're still doing 20 reps, that's still sets.
Yeah, but it's nowhere near failure. It's that for me, it's proximity.
It's because
proximity to failure is what makes it a set.
Some people call it a set when it's gone to failure, when they've really worked, you know? Some people call it a set when you've just done an exercise.
My first set, which is what you would call not to failure, I treat it as a blood set, as a squeeze set, where I'll grab the dumbbell and I'm like, okay, like really kind of slow, making sure I'm activating my biceps.
Well,
so that's why I treat it as a set, because it's an activation.
I just say stuff like this. I did 5 sets, but I did 2 working sets in that 5 sets. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I say. You know,
yeah.
2 I really went to town. You know, but
to me, a warm-up set is shorter reps. To me, a warm-up set would be
4 reps
or 3 reps.
Yeah.
No, 4 reps.
Okay, but you know the set where so you do 10 kilograms, 20, 30.
Yeah.
So the 10 kilogram for 20 reps, how close to that is to failure? It's probably like a 40% set, isn't it?
Doesn't matter. It's because I'm using it for a different purpose. I'm using it to activate my biceps.
But to me, 40% is not a set. To me.
But when I get off that preacher, I've got a pump. So that's
I think we are getting there, just in a different sort of way. We're all getting to the same sort of spot.
We need to all train arms together, and then I reckon we can work it out then. You know?
it'll be the same workout.
Yeah, it will be the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? You say that because you're talking about loading, right? We're talking about my goal with arms is to get the biggest pump I can.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah.
Right. So with that in mind, 20 reps, I still get off and I'm like, after the first set, I've got a pump.
Yeah.
I don't want to conflate a pump with muscle growth. They're not the same thing, strictly.
I think for arms, that's the way to go for arms.
Now, don't get me wrong. There is an element of that in growth, blood flow and shit. But I think mechanical tension. So how much tension can you actually put through that? Now you can't get maximum tension with a 10 kilo barbell, but you can with the loading set. That's where my head goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
All I do when I go in there is I make sure I've worked hard and I leave the gym feeling like my arms are just going to explode, but they still worked hard, you know? So as long as I'm getting that feeling, that's all I'm chasing after, really. Whatever rep range has got me there, that's all I'm trying to get. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I think certain muscles like quads, for example, I can sort of see that. But I think arms, because they're such small muscles, once you start loading, you just ends up going to the shoulder and even your lats. And because
that's what I noticed as well. When I was pushing the weight on biceps, I find my bicep tendon that leads up into your front delt. My shoulders starting to hurt as well. I could feel it in other places like my forearm and stuff like that. If I load bicep, I can't go too heavy anyway.
If I load a bicep curl, say a hammer curl, which is normally where I'll load, I'll do a single arm. I'll brace against the bench and I'll kind of let my arm hang and I'll pull from here. My fucking lat gets pumped.
Yeah.
So to me, that's kind of productive. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I still do it because I'm like that element of I need to lift some heavy.
I did a bit of weight. Yeah, I did some. Yeah.
But again, I don't necessarily think that just because another body part came into play, that's a bad thing.
No,
because for me,
I try to isolate my bicep. I just want my bicep to work and grow, really.
And I get that, and I do isolate my bicep, but I also want maximum recruitment, like maximum tension.
Yeah.
And if that means a little bit of delt, a little bit of chest, okay, cool, whatever.
I don't mind doing it. The first exercise of the bicep, the first one is a compound.
Yes.
Say a hammer curl or EZ bar curl.
Yes.
After that, like cable work and that, I try to just keep it just to the bicep.
Yeah. There you go. That's exactly
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what I
one exercise where you just sort of you can use a bit of everything else, like a compound kind of thing now.
Yeah. I think sometimes, like, especially in modern bodybuilding, it's almost seen as like a bad thing. You know, like everyone's doing this like cable lat thing.
Yeah, the lat thing, yeah.
Yeah, they see it as a bad thing if another body part gets involved, but it's not. Like, there's a lot of merit to be had. Just because you don't isolate a muscle doesn't mean it's not working to its max capability. If I'm maximally recruiting my biceps doing a heavy barbell curl and a little bit of shoulder comes in, so what?
I think you need both. I think you need both, where that loading component is in there. So you're like, right, I've lifted some weight.
Yes.
Now let's make sure that
that's what I try to do with my sessions. I have say 1 or 2 exercises where I push the envelope, you know what I mean? And then after that, I go for more isolation and pump work. And 100%. That's what I try to do. And there's always work for me to do that.
I treat the same, every body part exactly the same. For back, for example, I'll start with a barbell row.
Yeah.
Right? Lift weight there, and then I'm like, I ease off after that.
So, you might do to a lat pull down or something else, or it's not the same as a bent over row as you do putting the same effort into that, you know, the weight and the load.
Well, it is the same effort, but it's a different type of effort, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's different effort. It's not like I'm psyching myself up for a massive deadlift. Yeah. It's kind of like a different effort you put in, but you're still putting in 100%. But
exactly, yeah.
It's different pain in it. It's different.
And that's it. And that's the way I treat arms. I treat arms just like every other body part. Like let's load it, but let's also concentrate on what we're doing as well. You know, like a bit of both. And I think like to cover all bases, you know, a bit like the protein intake. Yeah, we might be having too much protein. We might. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got enough and then some more, just in case.
That's what I do.
Yeah. And that is what I think about with arms. I think to myself, okay, maybe some's gone to my delt, but if I'm maximally, going
I
for
get
bicep,
you. Yeah, I get that.
that's
I
where
get
my brain goes, you know?
See, the
Yeah,
reason I say that is what, like, kind of like opposite to what you're talking about. It's because I've done that. And when I've done that, I go back and I'm like, my arms have no pump. I don't feel anything in my arms. It's all in my shoulders and my lats, and then my shoulder hurts and my elbow hurts. But like, I get nothing out of it. Or I can go lighter, focus on the bicep, and my arms are pumped.
Well,
Now, on a let's say my first tricep exercise is always a machine dip.
Yeah.
At the end, my shoulders start to come in, my chest probably comes in, but which is fine. But like for the majority of the workout, lighter, higher volume, reps.
I might do an exercise where I push a bit hard, and that's the first one of most of my sessions anyway. It'll be the compound movement at the start, whether it be arms or not, and then everything else after that I go for pump work, really.
You know what's funny? We've spoken like for 10 minutes about it, but actually we just do the same stuff.
Yeah.
We actually just
it's all the same shit, really, isn't it? Come on, it's all the same shit.
True.
There's no secret way, is there, man? Come on.
We said it today. I trained with Kelvin, we had on the podcast.
Yeah, Kelvin,
Craig. And it's like, all you need to do is make sure you're working hard and close to failure. How you get there is up to you.
Yeah.
Pick the way
he loves that. Volume training, doesn't he?
Sorry, say again.
Kelvin, he loves German volume training.
Yes.
10 sets of 10.
Today we were just doing superset. Everything was a superset. And I was failing on every set.
It messes you up, especially when you haven't been used to that style, man. It does. So there's so many ways of working hard. There's so many different ways to do it, man. Seriously.
I know, and everyone's trying to tell you their way is the most optimal way. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
They can all work.
Yeah.
It literally is find a way that you enjoy. Find the way that you enjoy.
What I'd say is what you just said, Brian, was bang on. Find the way that you enjoy, because that's what's going to keep you doing it. If you enjoy it.
Yeah. If every day you turn up to the gym and you're sort of dreading the session.
I don't want to do that. Yeah.
That's my issue with the push-pull leg split, because yes, in theory it might be the best split, but I don't enjoy it. I don't want to do it.
No.
I don't like doing it. I like to just focus. If I do a chest session, I want to focus on it. I don't like doing a bit of shoulders and everything else. I don't like putting all three body parts into one session. I don't like doing that.
And you feel like you go in and you kind of leave and you're like, well, I kind of did a bit of chest.
I didn't do a lot on my chest. So I didn't do enough.
Yeah, because by the time you've done, so you do chest, then shoulders, then triceps, your chest isn't pumped anymore.
No.
And in your head, you're like, what the fuck? Did I even do it? Like,
yeah.
I don't like it at all. I don't like it.
No.
And you're going to put in so much more effort if you actually enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
But when we talk about optimal, I would rather do something that was less optimal in terms of like scientifically, but if I loved it, you know what I mean?
I just call optimal for you.
Yeah. It's relative. Isn't it? It's relative.
Yeah.
I agree. Hey, by the way, I made a couple of notes of stuff that was pissing me off through the week, right? And I kind of want to talk about it.
Let's go.
If you're here, right? So we spoke about this in the group the other day. I don't even know if we can talk about it in general, but maybe we can. But like copy and paste plans. So coaches that are basically just copy and pasting shit and sending it out to everyone. We came across this the other day, right? A top coach, we'll say it, Milos.
Yeah.
Milos, right? So we know people that he's been like coached by him, and they're all on the same sort of shit, and they're all doing the same shit. And I don't know, you pay a lot of money.
The context is this guy sends me a program that a coach gave to him who was coached by Milos. Milos sent the program to the original guy, who then passed it on to his client, who then sent it to me. So I linked it to the group chat.
Yeah, so it's done a full circle, yeah. And
I don't know if we should have said that, because that guy was like, "Oh, please don't tell anyone." But
I might cut this out. I might not.
Fuck it.
Do you know what? I think it comes down to when people have too many clients on, and that's the way they do it. They copy and paste because they haven't got the time, or they can't be bothered. They just want the money, so they just took all these clients on, and they can't really cater to it.
You know what, man?
Literally what I said last night in my story. Like, I'd much rather have 50 decent clients than have 200, 80% of them which being shit because I'm copy and pasting their plans and actually can't give them the attention.
That's it. There you go.
I think one of the things that I do when I start up a new client is I do like an introduction video. I make them a video. And what I do is I make sure I talk about their physique, because I want them to know that it's to them.
to them.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I'll say their name and I'll say, look, based on your physique, I think hamstrings could bring up a bit, triceps.
Yeah.
And I really feel like that adds something to it rather than them just getting this plan thinking, is that even for me?
Yeah.
So I purposely make sure I bring it up, and I think it helps.
Yeah, well, a lot of my clients are in close proximity to me, so I can actually go and see them. And I see them once a week in person, and I go and talk to them, look at them, and I give them that personal, I get to see them. Obviously, ones that are further away, I normally voice note, stuff like that. But ones I can see, I actually go and see in person. Do you know what I mean?
But just think about being a client yourself. You'd want, imagine there's a coach that you look up to, right? And then they message you and they message it something personal and they say something
nice. Mention their name, give them a bit of that, give them that time. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
So I always make sure. So these copy and paste shit, people think they're paying more money, so you're going to get a better service. But don't know, man. Don't know.
No. You want. You need to be able to give quality. But again, I think it comes down to how many clients people take on. Yeah. Because I'll tell you, that guy, that Steven's physique.
Yeah.
He's a cock, right?
Dave likes him.
I don't like him, man.
No, Dave hates him. Dave hates him.
He's always nice to me when I see him.
I'm joking.
He's just a bit of a. He just comes in fat. He never comes in shape. Yeah, go on. Go
on. He was coaching one of my good friends, and I felt sorry for him because he was doing the first timer show, and I had to take the reins the last couple of weeks to try and bring him in better.
Oh, was it an what's his name?
Jamie O'Rourke.
He's a Masters guy, isn't he?
No, he's just the first timers. He's my age, but
right. Anyway, go on.
He was responding to him 4 days late. Check-ins, he's checking on a Saturday morning. We would respond to Wednesday. He's like, mate,
that guy does fuck all. He just sits on his arse all day. See, this is the thing I don't get with these coaches, right? What the fuck do you do? What the fuck do you do? Bro, he can't string together a full week of training. He's like, I did this and did that. I couldn't get training. What the fuck do you do, bro? You're an online coach.
Yeah.
I hate these people.
He's got a fucking subscription on fucking Pornhub or some shit. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, and then what he did to my mate as well, right? Because obviously it's his first show as well. I felt sorry for him. He's trying to get on stage for the first ever time. And basically he's 2 weeks out. He's on zero carbs, right? He's on hour and a half cardio a day. He's just left him on that. And then there's a group chat where all his clients were in, and Jamie wrote in the group chat, has anyone heard from Stephen? Because I'm a bit worried about him because I checked in on Saturdays, but it's Wednesday, I haven't heard from him. And then Stephen messaged Jamie don't fucking message in the group chat again, you prick. Fucking hell, making everyone fucking look like I ain't replying to my clients and that. And I'm right, go at him. And I was like, what? I was like, mate, I just don't like him. I just think, nah, man, you can't do that.
It's gutting, innit? Because it's that guy's first ever show. You'll never get a first time again.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I had to take over the last 2 weeks, and I managed to, feed him up and got him looking pretty good. Do you know what I mean? For a PCA show, and he's happy with the look in the end. But it was I just felt like, you know what I mean? We can't do that to people. We're taking their money and that. And
answer me this: why would someone hire someone like that? Why would you hire Steven to begin with?
Because he's got Instagram clout, innit?
Yeah,
he doesn't. What fucking Instagram clout?
Doesn't he?
He's got no Instagram clout.
What I mean is, a lot of younger people are impressionable, and they see him with all his followers. I actually don't know how many
followers, bro. I
actually don't know. I'm assuming. Am I wrong?
People make fun of him. He is the last year he was the joke of fucking bodybuilding at UK bodybuilding. He
turned up fat, didn't he? Just off season.
Yeah. He was I'm 80%. I'm 80%. Bro, no, you're just cheating on your diet. That's not him.
I don't like him, man. Especially after that, I just feel like, nah, mate.
Sorry, boys.
I don't like people who do that to people, man. It's just wrong.
And they're not charging little money either. They're charging.
Nah, he was charging £200 a month, bro. Oh,
I hate that.
Yeah, I don't like that, man.
So what happened after?
Well, I just left him, and I took on to him. I took him on. He come fourth in the PCA show in a stat lineup. So he was happy in the end, but I just he just didn't even message him nothing. He didn't even message him on show day or anything. When he left him, he didn't even tell him he was leaving. And the bloke didn't even message him back anywhere, text him how the show went, nothing anyway. So I was like, he was just gonna leave you and you're paying him money, man. I was just like, nah.
Hey, there's a guy, I'm gonna leave names out of it, I don't want to say anything, because actually I'm friends with the guy. He goes to my gym, and he said to me last year, when was it? It was I don't know, latter part of the year. And he was like, I'm was like, so when's your show, mate? And he was like, 5 weeks. And I looked at him and I was like, oh shit. Like he was nowhere near, like nowhere, like, do you know what I mean? So I was like, look, can I talk honestly here? Like, I don't want to slag people off and like, but like, I think you need to have a word with your coach, who's my friend. Anyway, it turns out the guy didn't even know when his show was, because basically he had stopped coaching fitness people, and it was more about lifestyle now, like as in mindset training.
Yeah.
So he's now not doing bodybuilding, and like so his heart wasn't in it anymore. Anyway, so he just apologized and said, "Look, go with someone else instead, and they'll help you out, and I'll pay for them because I feel bad. I'll pay that person for you."
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's good to do that.
He's a nice dude. He is a nice dude. He just dropped the ball, and I felt so bad because it was his debut. It was his guy's debut.
Yeah.
And
hey, you don't leave a client hanging like in their first prep. Come on.
He said, when's your show again? And the guy was like, let's say fucking 5th of September. And he was like, oh,
you only got 5 weeks, shit.
Yeah. So, like I said, I had a chat with him. He had a word, and they sorted out. He got on stage, but he, like,
I would have just rescheduled to do a later show, really. You know?
Yeah.
I think it kills it though when you've got that date in mind. And
yeah,
then you delay it by
you know what? I'm saying that, but man, when I got a show, when I got a date in mind, I'm gonna do it, man, no matter what.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a first timer. If you said to me now, oh, you can't do that show in 10 weeks, you got to do one in 16, I'll be like, oh.
Your mind's not there now, is it, man?
Yeah. But if I've learned anything, if you're not going to be, you're better off just waiting a little bit longer and doing something when you're going to be fully ready.
You're better off doing it. I told people that's a damn Peter, man. I feel like I just got my heart set on that date, you know, and I'm like, nah, I got to do it. But I suppose I should have a few times. I should have waited a bit longer. I know that.
But sometimes, in the later stages of prep, when you're fucking hungry and you sleep shit, you're like, should we just get
don't want to do it every 6 weeks, do you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you find that once you've done one show, it's then kind of easier because you're feeding off of that energy?
No. You answer.
Because I've done that, and I thought it didn't work. Sometimes it has done that to me, and then sometimes if I haven't done well on that first show, there's no energy to feed off, man. I've been feeling like shit, and even worse trying to carry on.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, if you feel like I can be better,
yeah,
I need to bring something better.
So I've had two like that, right? So number one, if you don't win, as Ryan just said, your head's all over the place. You're like, oh, fuck. And then the other one is if you win, you get this massive adrenaline high, and then you fall off.
It crashes big time, doesn't it, man?
Don't you? Yeah.
So how was it different last year for you? Sorry, go on. You say first.
You need your shows lined up quite quick if you're going to do it, I reckon. You need to have a show like a week, 2 weeks. You can't wait 6 weeks in between. I couldn't do that. I need to go bang, 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 bang if I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's probably just because it's just difficult to hold that condition in for that long. So
when you're eating fuck all food, like your mood's a little, you're dragging your feet a little bit. You know what I mean? You're like, and you get this massive adrenaline spike where you've just won, and then by about that's like Saturday or Sunday. Then by about Tuesday,
Wednesday, Thursday,
yeah, you're like, oh my god, you feel even worse. Worse.
So how did you feel last year? Because you did like a bunch of shows last year, like 4 or something, didn't you? Quite close together. Right. Yeah, you.
I done 3. One they were 7 days apart, so I was fine. So by the time I started,
you did the universe. That was 4 weeks after, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I did one, then 7 days later another one, and then 3 weeks.
Oh. So what was the one you done? You done Telford. You did.
I did FitX Manchester, PCA Southwest, and then Universe.
Oh, okay.
But so FitX, I was on this high because I won the overall, and then by about, as me and Ryan just said, by about Wednesday, I was like, but then by that time I had to peak again.
Yeah.
So same as me. I left it a week between, so I was all right. I did 3 shows in a week because I did one on like a Saturday, and then next week it was Saturday and Sunday.
I was at the NFM UK one as well.
Yeah, so I did the NMF UK show. Then the next weekend I did the FitX, and then the day after I did the IBFA. So I did 3 shows in a week.
Oh, fucking
so
hell.
for your first shows, you probably don't do anything crazy.
No, I reckon you shouldn't peak too hard for your first show anyway.
Right. So would you take me for example? First show, would I just pretty much leave things as simple as possible, like not change a whole lot? Let's say I end up on, I don't know, 100 grams of carbs, go up to 400 on like a Wednesday, Thursday, and then just go into the show, or
I reckon it's just person dependent. I reckon your coach needs to judge that, bro.
I know, but like as a sort of information for first timers coming in.
I carved up quite hard for my first show. I needed it. I was really small. And
I would be scared to do that, just not to blow it.
Yeah, so basically, I know what you're getting at, Chad. Like as a general rule of thumb, you want to try and change as little things as possible.
Yeah. General rule of thumb. I wouldn't go too crazy. Like, whoa, you complete different diet. Like, do you know what I
mean? Yeah. Like you want to like minimize variables, minimize stress, and just roll in.
Yeah.
But yeah, because when you start doing more extreme things, there's the likelihood that it can go wrong is obviously higher, right? So it's like,
I definitely would add. I definitely carb up though. I definitely would.
Yeah.
Put food in. Yeah, I would definitely add more food into the last week. Certainly.
There's so many. It depends, though, isn't there? There's so many.
You probably wouldn't play with water and salt and things like that.
I wouldn't fuck around with anything that was different a week out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I would just if there was any changes that was going to be, it'd just be down to the carbohydrate. I'd say.
Yeah.
Even with my clients, I'm always very moderate. I'm very moderate. It's like whatever we're like on for, like, I don't know, like 1 week out, we barely make any changes just because I'm almost like scared because I don't feel
I don't want to mess up for them either. Do you know what I mean? By doing something stupid and just ruining their prep for them. And I think they just put in all that effort as well. I don't mind doing it to myself if I was going to try it on anybody, but I don't want to try it on my friend or my client. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Imagine how bad you'd feel if like they were looking amazing and then all of a sudden they were like watery as fuck because you did it.
I'd feel bad, man. Honestly,
I think the thing is what we spoke about before, Chad, as well, is like you should do trial loads. Like, so 2 weeks out, do like 400 grams, and see how your body reacts, and then judge it off that. You know.
I've never done that before, but Martin said this time we are going to do that. He's going to do little trials on me to see how I respond.
Yeah.
Which actually, if you're going to become more serious with bodybuilding, you need to be doing that. You need to find out what way works.
I can't believe how many doors are going to open for you, man. Like how good you are now, and then what you're going to be doing. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I had a message from Martin the other day, and he said to me, I checked in with him the weekend, and he just said to me, mate, he said, please follow, just listen to everything I'm going to tell you to do. Just follow me, please. He's like, just
do that as well. He's telling you from like ahead of time.
So I was like, I need to do this, man. I need to do it this time, just to see just to give myself that chance, that fair chance. I'd give myself 100% and just see what I can do, you know. And then I'll be happy. I'll be happy, even if I didn't win. I'd be happy to know that I did do it. I did give 100%, not cheated on my diet and didn't listen, done it myself, you know what I mean? At least I think I tried, I did it, you know?
Mate, Martin knows this shit, and you can see that from...
Well, everyone who's got is winning, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
So, it's funny you say that. So, we had a chat with someone. He basically was like, oh, what's Martin like? I'm thinking of working with him. So, I said to him, look, I think he's like really good, and you could see that from his clients. And he goes, so from what I've seen, it's quite simple. Like, he does, like, there's not like a lot of complicated. Shall like bodybuilding is not complicated though. It's not.
But it's not, bro. If someone's sending you these crazy plans with all this, they're just making that shit up. Because look at the bodybuilders with the best physiques back in the day. They had basic plans, basic food, basic equipment in the gym, and look how good their physiques are.
Yeah.
They didn't do all these crazy, stupid, these stupid things. It's just like they just trained hard and ate good food.
The value in a coach doesn't come from like this like spreadsheet and fucking like app. That's not the value. The value is this.
The result.
Like, they've got an eye for it and they've got a brain for it.
Yeah. And he talks to me, he like when I get his little voice clips every week, his little video he sends me of him talking to me, his little check-in videos. It makes me, I listen to him and I look up to him a bit. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got to do that. I want to please him. So it's making me better because I'm trying to do well. So I need him as well in that way. Yeah. It's not just about the plan he's giving me.
We were talking about this today, actually. Me, Coven, and Gray is like one of the reasons why a coach is good as well is because you look up to him, you respect him.
Yeah, respect him.
If you didn't respect Martin, if he didn't have his reputation or his record, you wouldn't feel the same way. You'd be like,
no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, but he says it, and he's got authority because he's good.
Yeah, that's it, and it's making me a better bodybuilder for him because I'm making improvements and it's because I'm listening and I want to listen. Do you know what I mean? So that's the price I'm paying for it, I'm not just, I know what to eat, I know what to do, but I'm paying for that extra bit that I need, Yeah.
And I think people make the mistake of hiring a coach at 12 weeks out.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because because you haven't got that relationship with them yet.
No.
You need
I think
more time.
the best way to do it is work with a coach in your off season so they can learn about you. You can build up that trust and respect with them, and then they go into a prep. That's the best way to do it, and that's the way I'm doing it now.
One of the best things about doing that as well is that, like, when you start prep, if you've done a big off season, a good off season, you'll start prep at a really good point.
Yeah, you're still in a good spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I think that's the difference that's made for me this year. Like, I had a really good off season. Like, I had a really good where, like, normally I'm starting fat and I'm starting like look like shit. Whereas this time I'm starting in a good spot.
Yeah,
makes a lot of difference, bro.
I did see you for your off season, man, and you're always in good shape. You know what I mean? And I think it does definitely help going into a prep with in a good routine and in a good place.
Yeah,
you know,
this is the tightest off season I've ever had as well.
It doesn't feel like your prep, does it?
Yeah. That's it. I'm halfway through prep and I don't even feel anything. I feel like nothing.
Almost it's like you're happy to be eating less.
Yeah.
I can't wait to diet, man.
Yeah, it's a blessing, isn't it? Yeah. It's fucking, I don't know, like it's weird. I'm waiting for it to feel like prep. It just doesn't at all.
But normally I start to struggle at 12 weeks out, which is what we were saying like earlier. Like when you asked that girl, she was, I'm 13 weeks out, and it's like that's what I normally start to struggle. So by 6 weeks out, you're fucked, which is when you should be finishing prep.
Yeah. Well, actually, that was one of the things that pissed me off as well. People constantly moaning about hunger. Like,
we spoke about it, didn't we?
Feeling hungry is a perfectly normal thing to do. Like, you're a human, for fuck's sake. I
get it. Eat over. You don't, just because your body's telling you you're hungry doesn't mean you have to eat.
Yes.
Or think of it like I'm getting leaner.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing. Like they treat it like an illness that's got to be cured. I'm a bit hungry.
I need to eat.
I'm hungry. Calm down.
You find like if you're not hungry, you're kind of like, am I even getting leaner?
Yeah, definitely. Like when you feel hungry and you have a black coffee and it doesn't and your stomach's empty, it's satisfying. I'm telling you, it's fucking satisfying.
I always try and go do cardio and when I'm not full, because I'm like, that's gonna burn fat better.
Yeah, I'm getting really lean now.
Yeah.
No, as much as you joke, but it does feel that way, doesn't it? It does. Yeah. No,
that's kind of how I think of it now, because I do my cardio before bed, so I still get one meal in before bed, but I'm like, I'm gonna do cardio last thing, so I'm burning all the fat, all the stuff I've eaten. It's just bro science, but it's mental, so it helps you, doesn't it?
Do you know what though? I did do cardio right before bed on my last prep. I did 20 minutes just before bed, and I don't know if it's like your placebo or whatever, but I woke up in the morning and I felt so tight in the morning every morning.
Shredded, bro.
I was hungry, but I felt so tight, my belly, and my weight felt tight, and
that's what it's all about, isn't it? If you wake up when you feel good about yourself, that's it sets you up for the day, doesn't it? Like, it makes everything easier. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it was good. I did enjoy doing it that way.
I feel, as you say, if you just flip your mindset, because if you're starving hungry from the moment you start, okay, I had a client and he was like, I want to do a prep for prep, because he was really out of shape.
Yeah.
He was 130 kilo and 5'9", you know what I mean? Not in shape. Yeah. Not. So I wanted to bring him down to about 100 and then see where we're at. So we're not even in prep. We're prepping for prep. So we're miles away. About 3 months in, he was like, bro, I'm starving. And I was just like, do you know what I mean? He was about 115 kilos. And I thought to myself, I just don't think bodybuilding's for everyone. If you're starving hungry and you're carrying that much body fat, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked. Do you know what I mean?
Do you find people just don't give it enough time? Because do you find the first couple of weeks of a diet are harder because you're used to eating more?
I find the first couple of weeks hard, then I get into then it settles for me.
Yes.
And then I'm like, right, I'm all right now.
Yes.
The first couple of weeks.
Almost that midline of prep is the easiest bit.
Yeah. There's a part of prep that's easy. The middle bit, you're like, this is easy, man.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa.
Shit.
Yeah. But as I say, genetically, again, it's another genetic element. I feel like some people are just not made for bodybuilding. If you're stuck to the point where you can't sleep, you can't think, you can't anything because you're starving and you're nowhere near in shape.
I think people are just too soft. And I felt victim of that before, where I'm like, feel sorry for myself. Oh, poor me. Get over it. Do you know what I mean? You want to do this. You want to do this. So no one's forcing you.
It's your choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think people are just too soft now.
There's no doubt about it, mate. No doubt about it. And so do you think, like, I feel like sometimes people are telling themselves they're more hungry than they are. Like you're just a bit peckish. You're not actually starving hungry, are you? You're just a bit peckish. You got cravings.
Yeah,
There's
they think
difference.
Being really bad, don't they? Like, this is really, really bad. Everyone's bad is different. You know, some people's bad is like, you know, not that bad.
You know, when you start looking, when someone says to you, what do you want to eat? And you're like, I just want like a little bit more oats. That's when you know you're hungry.
When you say oats.
Hey, for me, that's it. When scrambled eggs, when they start tasting good. And when oats start tasting like heaven. You know that point?
You're starving, bro.
Yeah, man. Because oats are dead, isn't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I can't stand oats, bro. I blend them in off season. I can't stand eating oats, man.
Oh yeah, but when you're near showtime, I bet they taste good.
Oh mate, I can't. I sit there with a little spoon and I'm just so happy.
I drink mine at the minute, but come like later in, I'm like looking forward to that.
Oh,
yeah,
mate, oats and cream of rice turn into like.
Oh, cream of rice as well, man. That gets you. That does.
Oh mate, yeah. When you're about 3 weeks out, a little bit of cream of rice. But, yeah,
I think like one mistake that I've made in the past is trying to volumize food too much. You almost like.
Well, so like cream of rice, yeah?
Yeah, so you try and make it like bigger than it is, and it almost like
there's water in it.
Yeah, but that's not better because it's just like fucking mud, and not just that, but it actually ruins your stomach.
Yeah.
So, but when you put too much water in or more water in, it changes the texture of it though. It doesn't. Yeah. It's like more fluff. It's more airy. I don't know. It's like
more airy. Yes.
Yeah.
You want it to be a bit substantial, man. You want to feel it like you're eating something.
You want some body to it, mate. You know
man.
And the same with like what back to the veg, like, you know, when you start getting hungry, you're like, I'm just gonna add more veg. That actually just bloats you.
Yeah.
I find, do you know what? I find when I started eating more veg, I did it on a prep before. I started adding loads of broccoli to my meals, and my stomach, I got really bloated stomach off of it. My stomach started bloating, and I had a lot of gas, and I just felt like worse for having more veg.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's the fucking too much fiber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it can mess up your digestive tract. 100%. Yeah.
It didn't work anyway.
Well, last diet, I kind of like didn't really do much veg, just barely, maybe some kale, some spinach, but like just left it. So, and I felt so much. My stomach was never bloated.
Yeah, because I suffer with quite a bloated belly. My belly, I got what certain foods I eat, my belly just bloats out, and I'm not full sometimes, but my belly bloats out, and I'm like, oh, I hate it. I've got to try and keep my stomach in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get that quite a lot as well with certain foods and that.
Nothing really does that for me, thankfully. Touch wood.
Yeah, oats do a bit in my off season as well. I find if I eat 200 grams of oats or something,
yeah, my 200 grams of
200 grams of oats.
Mental.
Like this big.
Yeah, bro. Some people do. I'm like, how the fuck? Sasan's diets are like that. He gives people like 200 grams of oats. I'm like, pre-workout, bro. I'm like, how the fuck are you stomaching that?
Hey, bro, I've got some guys. Honestly, there's this guy I got, a guy called Courtney, which is a strange name for a bloke, but yeah, he can put it away. He weighs like 85 kilos, and he's eating like 6,000 calories, 150 grams of oats.
You told me about that guy. I said he's not eating his food.
Yeah.
He told me about him before. I'm like, I call bullshit. He's not eating his food.
I know. I quiz him. I quiz him. I'm like, "Are you sure? Are you fucking sure?" And he's like, "I swear.
You got him to send you pictures, didn't you?
Yeah.
Some people can do that though, bro. That's why they're small, because they can't get big. They can eat and eat and eat and eat, and
it just passes through.
Yeah,
they're not absorbing all of that food.
I think whenever I hear that, I'm like, bullshit. It's because I know that I can gain weight on like 4,000 calories.
Yeah, I'm gaining on like 3,500, bro, 4,000, and I'm thinking, come on, and I'm like 122 kilo, 23 kilo, and I'm still gaining off lower food. So
I don't think I ever pushed 5. I don't think I ever pushed past 5.
I've never gone past probably 5,000 calories clean food. No way.
You can't
eat into a good diet, you know.
Oh, mate,
yeah, but we're fats, like we're like fatties. It takes us it's hard work to get lean.
Yeah. For me to get lean, it's easy, but then
I find it harder to get lean there, right? Honestly, I look after if I want that real condition, I need to go some really bad, because I felt like I've been in a really bad place and doing loads of this, loads of that, and I'm still haven't been at my best. So I know I got to really push for that.
Not even that, but like I have an easy time getting fat. Like if I don't watch what I eat, I get fat. I get fat quickly.
What way do you think is better? What way? Be in what way? What do you reckon?
I would not rather have to eat what you eat.
Yeah,
You'd rather be like you lot.
Yeah.
See, what I've got is only good for one thing: prep.
Yeah.
For all other things, it's not good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I like, other than prep, it's fucking shit.
If there was like a drought of food, you'd be fucked. You'd be the first one to go.
I'll be like a fucking pencil.
Like waste away.
I got reserves, bro. I'll be right for a bit.
I don't know. I mean, look, it's like a give and take, isn't it? It's like, from one point of view, you've got the advantage, and then from the other point of view, we've got the advantage. Like, you know, I don't know whether you retain muscle better being that way.
I don't know, man. For me, it's a slog. 6'3" and fucking these my metabolism. Do you know what I mean? I'm fucked. For me,
at least you're tall. Imagine being like 5'9" and having to do that. Because I've had clients like that. They're like 5'9" or 5'8", right? And they're having to eat like 5,000 calories. They're still not gaining weight, and they're like 80 kilos. Ooh. At least you're still like 140 kilos.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh man, I feel like you always want what we haven't got though. Like, I'm always envious.
That's what it is, like, bro. You'll say this, that there's always something, you know. I'll be like, yeah, but I want to find prep easier. But then you're like, yeah, but I want to find off season easier. But that's it.
I look at people with your level of fullness, and I'm like, oh man, I'm jealous as fuck.
But there's other I can't. Yeah, there's other things I like. So it's one of those, isn't it, man? That's the beauty of it, isn't it? There's so many.
No, I think the fullness wins, because even in an off season you look good, you know.
Yeah. I just look fuck. I just got a big belly because I'm eating all this food.
Think in an off season we look shit. Like
I got because I'm eating all this food in off season, so my belly's massive, but I'm not full. So like, I'm not like super full like you. Look at your fucking traps right now.
I never
look like that.
Yeah, my body's bubbly, man. My delts and that.
Bro, I never look like that, but my belly is massive because I've got to eat all the food. So it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah,
it's fucking shit.
You train traps.
Huh?
Do you train your traps? No.
Nah.
Oh, bastard. Bro, I train my traps hard to try and get him to grow.
The thing is though, I always have big traps, and I just feel like they just one of those things, you know, one of those things that just grow really well, and then I feel like if I did actual direct work, I don't think it look right, because if they get taller, higher, I need to get wider, you know. So it won't look right if they're too high. Do you know what I mean? Because I need to be wider, you know. So it's hard. I just want them to stay as they are, really. Do you know what I mean?
I've got a mate like that. He is all traps.
Alex.
He is all traps, and it throws up his physique. He actually looks weird.
That's what I mean.
Traps, like, they're fucking like that.
Yeah, it's too big. It's too much. Yeah. It makes you look. It makes you lose your width with the trap.
I don't know. I want traps like that.
Yeah, I want them as well.
Looks weird and like freaky.
Yeah, 100%. Are you covered in tattoo? I can't remember. Right. Where's your tattoos?
I got a sleeve on one arm. Yeah.
Were you going to get any more?
Nah.
You done? Because I reckon that would look quite good. You know, Chud. You know, like, you want to like be covered, right? Hit those traps covered all over. It looked fucking quite good, on it.
Yeah. Do you know? I did think about, once I'm done with bodybuilding, I was going to plaster my whole body. I was going to get like a sleeve over the top, all nice patterned everywhere, like to make it look wicked. You know what I mean?
And you
know what? I was going to actually
and cane rows as well.
I was going to talk to you about that. I was chatting to someone the other night on TikTok, on my TikTok live, and this girl came on. She was like, "You need to use Dream Tan." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Because with the tattoos you've got, the Pro Tan just makes them look like green. It makes them not."
It does, bro. I've done a few PCA shows, and my tattoos didn't look great with the tan they put on. So but Dream Tan, it's like what Jordan Gomez uses. He always uses Dream Tan, doesn't he?
Ryan uses Dream Tan as well, don't you?
It's good, bro, man. It gives you that like darker sort of look. It is good. I like Dream Tan.
Especially, see, I got blackout. So blackout.
Yeah, I go with Dream Tan, bro. Get a normal tan done, like a Pro Tan one, and then put Dream Tan over the top.
Yeah.
I'll just get Ryan to come to the show, do it for me.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. The only problem is it's just so messy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed in the venue, are you? You're not allowed to use it in the venue.
They're a bit funny, mate. They're a bit funny. But it's a problem because you've got to put it on and then put your clothes back on over the top. So you've got to try not to sweat, like, you know.
Yeah.
So the girls, because she's Scottish, so she's competing in Scotland, and she said you got the kit comes with like the base coat, which you put on first, and then the day of you put the dream tan on.
Yeah, literally about an hour before you go on stage.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I did mine about an hour before, and I didn't put my clothes back on. I stayed backstage, if you know what I'm saying. I just stayed in one spot, sat down, and then I just got up and went out. Do you know what I mean? Instead of putting my clothes back on.
Yeah.
So
I don't like doing that because I don't like being naked too soon.
Yeah.
I get you. I get you.
What about? I like. Yeah. The thing is, you're full all the time, but I'm not full unless I've got a pump.
Yeah.
So I have to get a pump, then I do it.
Yeah, I just sit there, man. I don't really care.
Oh,
I don't know, especially if it's cold, like, fuck that.
If I did that and I saw myself in the mirror without a pump, I'd be like,
yeah.
I wouldn't even go out. I'd be like, no.
Yeah, well, I do anyway, because I just think, well, whatever they think, I just think, well, I'm going to be pumped in a minute anyway. So you're going to...
When I meet everyone, I'll show them.
Yeah, they're going to... If they think, he looks a bit like, just like, well, I'm going to pump up in a minute anyway.
Yeah, it's like, think what you want. I'm still going to beat you anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just have that mindset, you like, think what you want. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a mindset in it, man. But
so dream tan for sure. Then
dream tan, mate.
I liked it. I like dream tan. I haven't used it every single show, but I did use it for a few shows, and it worked well for me.
Yeah, me too. All of my
overall. Just put like proton on, but do like 4 or 5 coats, isn't it?
Of what, the base?
Yeah, just make sure a base is nice and dark. Do like 3 coats of base and 2 top coats of some up.
I'm quite dark as it is, though. I'm quite dark skinned. I'm not like pale.
Yeah, I don't think you don't necessarily have to use dream tan. It is really messy, bro. But
night before pro tan and then day of dream tan, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe do that. Start with the base coat of the pro tan. Yeah. Go quite dark. Do like 2 coats of that, 3 coats of that, and then do a dream tan over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No oil. You can't use oil.
You can't use oil when they don't mix. No.
It's got oil. It's got like a shiny sort of look into it anyway, isn't it, dream tan?
It's got like sparkly bits in it and shit.
Yeah, it has. I like dream tan, yeah.
Yeah, it's proper, mate. It's good.
Old school, isn't it? Old school tan.
Yeah, proper, mate. Proper.
Have you got any more of your points?
Yeah.
I still got cardio to do. I was just telling Ryan that earlier.
Lads, I'm not going to stay on to it as longer, lads, because I'm going to go and eat in as well.
So let's call it there, and we'll pick these up next time.
Yeah, I'll come back on again. I love coming on these anyway. They're wicked, man.
Yeah, that's good, mate. I told you, like, such a good response from that last podcast that we done. Because you don't show yourself a lot, but it's nice for mindset because we all chat and it's nice.
I like having a chat with you both, especially because you're on prep and me and Ryan. Well, Ryan's on prep as well, but I'm going to be on prep at some point as well. So it's nice to have you. There to chat to as well, just get you through it. The later stages, we want to chat about it.
It's nice to relate to people in that, isn't it? Like all go through the same shit. It's nice.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, 100%. All right, then, boys. We'll call it quits. See you next time, all right?
Yeah, man. See you soon, boys.
Good, boys.
Bye.